What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Now, I can't believe I didn't do this video long ago. I don't really know why it didn't cross my mind, but in our Facebook group, someone asked a question, and it occurred to me that a lot of people will cancel their Facebook adverts before they even have a chance to give Facebook the data they need. So I want to do a video on this and kind of go through the strategy that I use with my website conversion adverts. If you want to know kind of what this video is about, you can read it in the comment. But I recommend you stay all the way to the end. It's going to open your eyes about website conversion ads. It's going to open your eyes about what Facebook actually wants from us. It's going to really give you a better understanding of Facebook adverts, website conversion adverts. And it's going to help you understand. It's going to help you not lose as much money with your advertising. It's going to give you the information you need to understand how Facebook works, and then you can use that to your advantage. So I'm going to show you how to be successful with Facebook website conversions, right? And there's really... The really to be successful is just time and give Facebook what it wants. So that's what we're going to run through, and we're going to run through my strategy. So this is a question here. The guy actually said I should make a video, so I am. I just haven't got his name. I've cut it off up there because I don't know if he wanted his name in the video or not. So we're going to go down. This is called, I just made up this name now, right? So I have a kind of method. I have lots of methods that I use, but I'm going to call this one the double triple, because I increase my ad spend by double then triple with this method. So if you don't know me very well, right, or you're new to my channel, my Facebook advertising method is PPE to website conversions, so post engagement to website conversions. And as we go through this video, you'll understand more why I do that. But I do it because I want to get as much information as possible from my audience first before I start doing a website conversion advert, because it gives Facebook more information straight away, and they'll start to optimize your website conversion adverts faster. Now, there's people out there that disagree with me, but I've been doing this Facebook advertising method for a long time now, and it's created multiple six-figure adverts for me, and it really is one of the best ways to actually dial down your Facebook advertising and get really specific. Like, when a lot of guys will do website conversion adverts first, and that's absolutely fine. Some people crush it like that, right? But once you understand throughout this video, you'll understand why I do my website conversions first as we go through. So what most people do is they get the fear of losing money, then they kill their advert way too early. Now, this is website conversions we're talking about. PPE adverts, I don't really expect sales from those, so I don't really mind putting a little bit of money in, then cancelling them, then getting the data. Now, what I mean by getting the data is I take my winning PPE advert and I kind of replicate it into a website conversion advert, so I've got the specific data that I need, my winning interests, my winning genders, my winning ages, and all that sort of stuff, countries, and I can advertise to those straight away. So yeah, what most people do is they cancel their adverts too early, and we're going to go through all of that. So this is very important. Now, this is straight from Facebook herself, the mothership, right? The one that makes us the money, Facebook. This is straight from Facebook. It's not from any random blog. This information is straight from Facebook. So listen up, because this is really going to probably open your eyes to actually what you need to do to get your website conversion adverts optimized. If you take nothing else away from this article, remember that the most important thing you can do to set yourself up for success is provide our system with as much data for each of your ad sets as possible. All our other advice stems from that. So focus on getting it right first. What kind of data? Conversions. At a minimum, your ad set needs to be getting 15 to 25 of the conversions it's optimized for per week to have a chance at success. So what that means is if you have an ad set, not an advert, but if you have an ad set, right, and let's say you have one advert in there, 2, 3, 4, 5, that specific ad set needs to get at least 15 conversions a week. So that's add to carts, or that's like view counts, payment info, purchases, right? It needs to get that per week at least, right? So just remember this. You're going to need to remember this throughout the video, and I'll also leave a link in the description to the blog post about this so you can have a full read. Now, for this example on this video, we're going to be for the example, it's going to be one ad set and one advert only. Okay, so just so you know, it's one ad set, one advert only. So just pretend that we're working with one ad set and one advert. Usually when I do my website conversions, I only actually do one ad set one ad set with one advert most of the time anyway, because I don't really test website conversions. That's what I use PPE for. So yeah, we'll just go off that based on that right now, so we get a better understanding of it and there's no confusion. But remember, this is 15 per ad set, not actually advert. So it really just depends how many adverts you have in your ad set. Now, so it's a good idea not to do this, right? Most people will start a website conversion advert with the purchase pixel. That's a big no-no unless you know you get sales, because if we go back to the other slide, right? Facebook wants 15 conversions minimum per week. If you start a website conversion with a purchase pixel straight away and you don't get 15 sales in that week, right? Then Facebook's not even going to bother optimizing your advert. They've said they need at least 15. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you some other ways to get these conversions and these figures to Facebook. But this is another mistake most people make. They'll go and get the purchase pixel straight away, and it's, you might not get sales, right? So you're really giving no data to Facebook at all, and they can't do anything with your adverts. So now this is what I do: view count, add to cart. Then eventually my ultimate goal for my website conversion is to get to the purchase action. If I can, right? If I actually can, and I'll explain what I mean by that soon. But remember, you need at least 15 a week of any of these actions that you choose. At least 15 a week. If you're collecting leads, you need at least 15 a week per ad set. If you're collecting payment info, at least 15. And that's at least, right? Their optimal level is 50 plus, their ideal level. So that's bare minimum is 15. Just remember that, okay? Very important. So what I'm going to do is we're going to start with the next step, and this is the double triple method. What I will do is I'll go through an example of what most people would do in this situation. Then I'll go through an example of what I would do. So let's just say you have a product and it's making $15 profit per sale of that product. This doesn't include advertising or anything like that. This is just the product, right? So you found a product on AliExpress or wherever you get your product from. Let's say it costs you $5, right? Or 20. Let's say it costs you $20, but your profit's $15. Okay. Most people will spend that $15 and get scared, and then they will stop, right? They will stop their advertising. So let's look at some stats real quick. If we have that set to VC, which is view content, right? And let's say these numbers are imaginary. These are just for the sake of this video. Let's say you get $1, or you pay $1 per conversion for that, and you get to your $15 and you have spent $15 and you get 15 conversions, right? So you have 15 conversions here. Okay. If we go back to Facebook's little diagram here, or article, that's the bare minimum. So you've just started getting into the bare minimum and you've cancelled your advert. So you haven't even given Facebook a chance to even do anything with the advert yet. And then you're like, oh, Facebook doesn't work, or this sort of stuff. Well, of course it doesn't work, because you haven't given it the data it needs from the beginning, right? And this is why I do PPE first, because I feel that when I start the website conversion to the stats of the PPE advert, I get my conversions faster. Everything just happens faster, and then I can get on a bit of a roll. And Facebook seems to get the data a lot quicker. And website conversion ads are the ones you actually want to end up with in the end, because they're the ones that are actually optimized for sales and stuff. Now, let's say you have an add to cart pixel set, right? So that's your action. You get $2.20 per conversion. When you hit that $15 threshold, that most people quit. Now, this $15 is just an example, right? You might be $20 profit, 40. Like you might have a product that's $30 profit and you cut it off at $30. And all this cut-off stuff is also an example, but this is what most people will do. They get scared because they're not going to make any money. Now, back to the add to cart. Now, in this example, you've only got 7 conversions and you cut it off, right? So you're not even close to giving Facebook any optimization at all. Then when we get to the purchases, which is what most people set their adverts to, and you spend $15, and let's say you have 0 sales, you've sent Facebook absolutely 0 data, but they're glad to take your money, right? Because that's what Facebook is there for. It's to take our money, because they want our money. We're using their advertising platform, and that's fine. But if we don't give them the data in return that they need to optimize our adverts, we're literally getting a lighter and burning our money. That's what we're doing right now. So you need to make sure you are actually have one of these set that's going to get you the data that you need to give to Facebook, and you're not just cutting your adverts when you get scared of losing money. So I hope that made sense. I know it can be a little bit confusing, but Facebook is a very complex advertising platform. That's why only a handful of people actually make it on the Facebook advertising, because it's very, very complex. There's a lot of working parts. You have to understand how Facebook works to get the returns you want. So this is what I do. Okay, this is my method. If I had a product that was going to give me $15 profit, I would first set my website conversion budget. And remember, I always do a PPE advert first. So when I start my website conversion, I already have data. So I know what age works well. I know what gender works well. I know what interests work well. So I've already tested, right, with my PPEs. So I have an audience that I know is probably going to work. Not always, but probably. So I'm going to set my budget at $30, okay? And then I might go to 45, then 45, then I'm going to look at the data again. So let's say I start with the view count and I get, say, 80 cents per view, right? So it fires the pixel 24 times for $30, right? So I'm starting to send Facebook the data. I'm over the 15 for the week or whatever, and I'm starting to send Facebook that data, right? So can you see that, how the difference there? And even if it was at $1, it would still be over the 15. Now, if I started with the purchase pixel and got no sales, then Facebook has no data, okay? Even with one sale, they don't have much data. You need to use the right pixel action for your advert. And I'm going to explain a lot of that in a second, but you need to use the right pixel action. Now, if I just stuck with view counts on mine and I was getting sales, I was making profit, I probably wouldn't change anything else, because there's no point. Right? There's actually no point, and that's what I come to this slide. Just because you want to use the pixel purchase pixel doesn't mean you get sales. The pixel doesn't determine someone's actions on the site. The pixel is to track data and give Facebook more information, but it's pointless if you don't give it time to get that info. So what I mean is, if someone goes to your website, right, and you have the add to cart action on it, there's nothing on your website telling them to leave, right? They're going to go, they're going to view the content, they're going to add it to the cart they might purchase. People seem to think that if you use the purchase pixel, it's for purchases only. It's not. The purchase pixel is there so Facebook can optimize it eventually and put it in front of people that could purchase. Now, I'm quoting this, could purchase. Doesn't necessarily mean they're going to purchase. If you run the add to cart or the view count for your whole campaign, that's no problem if you're actually getting sales and making money. So a lot of people will jump in, go straight to the purchase pixel, and that is a problem, because from the start, if you don't know your ads are going to get sales, then you're giving Facebook no data. Now, if you know you're going to get sales, right, if you're going to get your 15 plus per week, then that's fine. But the pixel's there so Facebook can determine who to show your advert to, not to determine the actions that actually happen on your website, which I think a lot of people think. I'm not 100% sure of this, but I think people think if they use the purchase pixel, then Facebook's just going to throw it in front of people that are definitely going to buy from your site. That's not really the way it works, okay? Now, eventually it's good to get to the pixel, because you want to obviously optimize your advert for the pixel, for the purchase pixel, and to get purchases and all that sort of stuff. But it's not always the way to go. It really isn't always the way to go. You don't have to just go to purchase pixels all the time. So this is kind of a rundown what I would do. I'm trying not to keep this video too long for you, but I do encourage you to stay to the end. There's a lot of valuable information in the next few slides, and I'm going to kind of compare an offline store to an online store, which I've been doing quite often in the Facebook group. So if I have a product that's going to make me $15 product per sale, this is what I would generally do. Now I say generally because I change a lot, okay, and the Facebook algorithm is always changing as well. So I would make multiple PPE adverts and spend about $40 or so, right? I might go 40, 50, 60, because I don't mind throwing away a little bit of money to get the data that I need. I take the best PPE advert and create a website conversion advert with the winning data, because now I know that if I send my website conversion to this data, so I've got the right age, I've got the people that are engaging most in my PPE, all that sort of stuff. So what I do is then I'll throw my PPE away, or maybe let it run if I feel like it's going to be a benefit to me. But I'll throw it away, take the data, so the best age, the best interest, the best whatever you're split testing, and then I'll start a website conversion with that data, right? So I'm giving Facebook a head start, because I'm going to get basically actions and stuff straight away. I use the view count pixel first, right? I let the advert run to about $30. If I get 0 to 1 sales, I'm going to keep it running. And then I'm going to hit it to about 45, which is the triple, right? Now I'm tripling my $15 initial profit point of the product. So I'm going to let it run to 45. And if I get 0 to 1 sales, but it's the same price, like the price hasn't gone down, so I'm still at that 0 to 1 sales, right? Nothing's really happening. The price hasn't really gone down. I'm probably going to kill it. This tells me that the price isn't really going to go down. I've got maybe 0 to 1 sales, but 1 sale isn't much. Might have got lucky. I'm probably going to kill it at this point. Now, I'm way ahead of the people that kill it at the 15 or the 20. So even now I've got a bigger advantage of having a successful ad than most of the people out there, right? So, and remember, if I was doing a $30 profit, then it will be 30, 60, then 90, right? Do you see what I'm doing? I'm doubling and then I'm tripling up. Really just depends on it kind of evens itself out. If you have a high priced product, right, you usually get less sales. If you have a low priced product, you usually get more sales. So it should even itself out, kind of, if you know what I mean, or even itself out. If you have a low price product, you're going to get more sales. So even though you spend less money, you should really get a good amount of sales or some sort of data to take you to the next point of your advert. So, or if I have 1 sale but cheaper actions, let it run for another 15. So if I'm at the 45 and I've got 1 sale and my actions are getting a little bit cheaper, and I'm thinking, maybe this advert's not too bad, I'm going to hit it with another 15, right? So we're like kind of double, triple, quadruple on this thing now. Or if I have 2 sales at 45, I'm just going to keep the advert running, okay? If I get to around about 150 to 200 per ad, and I'm not really getting the profit, like if I haven't made a profit of $1 plus, I'm more than likely going to kill that advert. Now, people are going to say, man, you're crazy for spending $200. I'm going to show you why I do it in a second, and I'm going to open your eyes to the facts about owning an online Shopify store in a second. Bear with me, 2 more slides to go. Right, so go over this again, have a look. It's very straightforward. I don't need to run through it again. It's quite easy, right? I don't use this formula every single time. I work with what I've got. I work with the kind of product I'm trying to sell. But this is generally how I will do my adverts, okay? So just have a look through that. Now, I will go from view count to add to cart. So if you don't know what I'm talking about here, in your advert, when you start it, you can do you can choose actions. So I choose view count first. Then later on I can do add to cart if I like, and then I can do purchase. So let's say if you've started an advert and it's getting heaps of view counts, right? Then you can change it to add to cart because you're probably going to be over your 15 threshold. It just depends. It doesn't matter what pixel you use, as long as you're in that 15 plus. So you can work your way up. So you can start with view count, you can start with add to cart, and then eventually you can get to purchases if you want, because Facebook's going to optimize it for the view count. Then if you change the add to cart, it's going to optimize it for the add to cart, and it's going to optimize itself up to the point that you actually want it to be at. So I will go view count, then add to cart when or if I start making profit, right? Everyone's throwing around numbers. When should I go view to cart? Should it be at 100, 50? I don't care about numbers. Numbers are numbers. I'm worried about the money and the stats. That's all I care about. So if I start making profit and my view count's more than the 15 threshold, probably more like 25, I'll probably want to go. So if it's more than the where are we? If it's more than the threshold here of, let's say, 25, and I'm getting some profit rolling in, I'm going to change it to add to cart. And then later on, once I get more add to carts and I see more profit rolling in, and I clearly see obviously good profits, like my advert's actually going to make me some good profits, then I'm going to go to purchase pixel, and only then. If my advert runs fine on add to cart or view to counts, and I'm getting sales, but I'm kind of don't think I'm going to get enough for the pixel or whatever, I'm just going to leave it running. Like, sometimes it's just best not to change things, and it's really up to you to test that. So sometimes I'll just leave it running on whatever. Now, why do I do PPE first? I get asked this so many times, right? First off, website conversion adverts are king. You eventually want to get to these. The benefit with PPE is you can go viral a bit faster, or you got more chance to go viral. But I use PPE to simply gather data. Right? And I don't mind throwing away 40, 50, 60 bucks, even maybe 80 bucks to get the data. I don't care, because the data is going to help me and benefit me so much more in the long run. It's really like, everyone has their own ways of Facebook ads, right? People say I'm wrong, people say I'm right. I don't agree with other people's methods, right? Whatever, but this is what works for me, and this is what I've been teaching people, and this is what's been working for them. I've had people post in the Facebook group, man, I did PPE first, and I did website conversions. It's absolutely crazy. So if I can give the website conversion advert the data first, there's more chance of giving Facebook the juice quicker, like giving them the conversions they want quicker, because the website conversion ad doesn't have to figure out who's interested, because I've already given them that data, if that makes sense, right? So the really to take away from this is make sure you just get in this threshold, or you are burning money. Okay, now check this out. This is where we're going to get a little bit real here, because this is very important. So 200 bucks on testing adverts, right, or whatever, on adverts, right? I have people message me saying, man, I just spent 80 bucks on adverts, this sucks, whatever. Like, let's get real. Let's get real for a second, right? 200 bucks on adverts. Consider this. If you wanted to start a real brick and mortar store, right, you need to buy products up front. You don't need to with drop shipping. So for this example, let's say you need $8,000 worth of products. You're going to pay wages. Let's say you pay $1,000 a week in wages. You have 2 employees. You pay them 500 bucks each, and you've also got to pay yourself as well. You pay 400 rent, which is actually probably really underestimating it, because down in my local mall, I was going to purchase a building to lease out, a little like brick and mortar thing to lease out. It was $850 a week. Then you've got insurance, which is probably average about 100 bucks a month for your contents, your product insurance, your burglary insurance, and all that sort of stuff. Then you got 50 bucks a week for other bills, and that you haven't even got to your Facebook advertising budget yet, guys. Okay? Now, on the other side, where we are, me and you, we don't have to pay any money up front for products. $0. We're not paying for the product ourselves. The customer's actually paying for the product, and we're just taking a cut off the top. Okay? We might spend 30 bucks a month on Shopify, and then 10 bucks a week on other bills, like your power bills and whatever. But people will kill an advert at 20 bucks because they're scared of losing that 20 bucks, or they're scared of losing more money. Do you know why the gurus post screenshots of their huge earnings? Because they've put the money in to get those earnings, right? If they've put up a screenshot of $100,000, they've probably put in 60 grand or 70 grand in advertising. Okay, and you have to be prepared to do that. Are you prepared to put in a shitload of money when your adverts take off, right? Are you prepared for that? I mean, you should be making profit then anyway. But what I'm trying to say here is me testing adverts for 200 bucks, right, with my double triple method, which I talk about here, here, right? I'm prepared to spend 200 bucks because I don't have to pay rents. I don't have a brick and mortar store. I don't have to pay wages. I don't have massive insurance bills. I don't have to pay for products. So I tell this in the group a lot because I want to just put it, like, no one actually tells you this stuff. They just tell you it's easy to make money online, do all this stuff, and then people think that, they always ask me, how can I make money online for cheap or free? You can't. So you be prepared to spend money on adverts. If you want to succeed on Facebook adverts, you need to put the money and the time into it. You need to give Facebook the data, right? Because you're just wasting money. Like, seriously, you are. If you give Facebook the money it wants, but not the data, they will clean you out. They will take your money fair and square, legally, but they won't put your adverts in front of the people that matter because they don't have enough data to actually do that, right? Without giving them the data, just get the money and burn it. Like, if you're not giving them the data, grab that money out of the bank and just burn it, because that's what you're doing. That is what you're doing. Let the adverts run long enough to collect data, right? Now, some people do start website conversion ads and they go very first, and it goes very, very well, and they're not optimized or whatever, right? We all have our own methods. You got to remember that a lot of the time these guys get lucky. They just get a lucky product and they get lucky adverts. There's a lot of luck in this game. There is actually a lot of luck, and some people get lucky. Like, a friend of mine had never advertised on Facebook before. He advertised his real estate company for leads. He was getting crazy low leads, and he just did like some broad advertising, but he got so lucky and his business boomed. So a lot of it's luck. So that's what I want to talk about. If you're serious about your Facebook adverts, right? stop cutting them too early. Just stop cutting them too early. You need, unless there's an obvious, in the Facebook group today, there was actually an advert that I cancelled early because there was an obvious problem. If you see an obvious problem with your Facebook adverts, like you're spending your budgets way too quickly, or there's just an obvious issue, like nothing's consistent, then cancel it, right, and start again. But if you're getting consistent engagement, consistent clicks to your website, consistent view count, fires or add to carts or whatever, just keep it running, because you want to get into that 15 to 25 bracket. Then you want to get to that 50 to 100, and that's when your advert's really going to start to optimize. You're going to be like, wow, this is amazing. You're going to be making so much profit. That's when you know your advert's going to crush it, okay? When you start to get into these little thresholds here, Facebook will just start putting your advert where it needs to be in front of the exact right audience, because you've got to remember, even though you've done your targeting, you've got it really drilled down specifically, Facebook still might not put it in front of the right people until they get the data. Okay, they need the data, and they've told us this over and over again. They're telling us right now. So that's how if you want to be successful on Facebook, the secret really is, right, to take away from this video, the secret really is just let it run. Just let it run into that threshold, okay? Don't cancel, don't get scared, don't have the fear of losing money, because when it comes down to it, we're very, very lucky compared to people out in the real world who start brick and mortar stores and all that sort of stuff. And really, realistically, they probably go to the bank to get loans, so they're already in debt from the get-go. We are not. We can just do it at our own pace, cruise along. And that's it for this video. Just needed to point this out. I want you guys to succeed on Facebook. And if you want to succeed, just let the adverts run, and you will know what I mean. You'll start getting sales, and you'll be a very, very happy person. I'll see you in the next video.